My friend, my dear family, welcome. Have you ever stood at the edge of a moment, a profound precipice in your life, where you could see the promised land of your deepest desires, the life you've always dreamed of, the fulfillment of every spiritual longing, but felt an invisible barrier, a profound sense of not yet, or even not for me? You gaze upon it with a heart full of hope, a soul yearning for completion, and yet, there you remain, on the other side. If that feeling resonates deep within your spirit, if you've ever glimpsed your destiny but wondered how to truly step into it, then lean in close, because what we are about to unpack today from a mountain almost 3 millennia ago will utterly transform how you see your own journey. This isn't just an ancient story, it's a living blueprint for your breakthrough, a vision so powerful it changes everything. We're going to journey together to Mount Nebo, to a moment in time that holds a secret, a profound revelation that Moses himself experienced, a vision that wasn't just about a physical landscape, but about the very nature of destiny, trust, and the unwavering promise of a benevolent universe. And what Moses saw, what he understood in that sacred moment, is precisely what you need to understand to unlock your own promised land. Stay with me, because by the end of our conversation today, you will not only see your future with new eyes, but you will feel a profound, undeniable shift within you, a confidence that your purpose is secure, your path divinely guided, and your greatest aspirations are not just possible, but absolutely certain. This is for you. So often, we focus on the struggle, don't we? We fixate on the Red Sea in front of us, the wilderness around us, the giants in the land we are trying to reach. And our hearts, naturally, can become weary. We feel the weight of our own expectations, the pressure to perform, to achieve, to make things happen in our own strength. We look at other people's promised lands, and wonder why ours feels so distant, so elusive. We work hard, we pray hard, we strive with every fiber of our being, and still, there are moments, aren't there, where we ask, is it truly for me? Will I ever get there? This is a universal human experience, this dance between hope and apprehension, between belief and the tangible reality we face. Think about Moses. He had led a people, an entire nation, through 40 years of unimaginable challenges. He had witnessed miracles, spoken with the divine face-to-face, endured rebellions, and carried the weight of a monumental responsibility. His entire life had been a journey towards one specific destination, the Promised Land. Can you imagine the intensity of that longing, the singular focus that had driven him for decades? Every step, every decision, every miracle, every moment of doubt and triumph, all pointed to that one ultimate goal. And then, he stands on Mount Nebo. The air is clear, the view expansive, breathtaking. From that peak, he can see it all. The rolling hills, the fertile valleys, the land flowing with milk and honey. He can see the culmination of his life's work, the prize he had pursued with unwavering dedication. Can you feel the mix of emotions that must have coursed through him in that moment? The sheer joy of seeing it, the relief of knowing it was real, within grasp. But then, the profound, almost unbearable truth, you will see it with your eyes, but you will not cross over into it. This is where many people stop the story. They see it as a tragedy, a moment of unfulfilled destiny, a harsh divine decree. And if we look at it with only our human eyes, with only our limited understanding of success and accomplishment, it can certainly feel that way. We might interpret it as, you did all the work, but someone else gets the reward. And how often do we feel that in our own lives? We pour our hearts into a project, a relationship, a dream, only to see someone else reap the benefits, or for the door to close just as we reach it. We feel cheated, overlooked, perhaps even unworthy. But here is where the vision Moses saw on Mount Nebo, the true vision, begins to unfold and shift everything we thought we knew. It wasn't just about a physical border, a line he couldn't cross. Oh no, it was infinitely deeper, profoundly more liberating. The vision was not about a personal exclusion, it was about an expansion of purpose, a revelation of a divine tapestry far grander than any single thread, any single lifetime. Let's really dive into this. What if the vision wasn't just the land itself, but the understanding of what that land represented, and Moses' role within the larger divine plan? What if, in that moment, seeing the promised land was not about his physical entry, but about his spiritual comprehension of the enduring promise? This is a critical distinction, my friend. We often chase the entry into our promised land, the tangible manifestation, the physical crossing of the border. But the true transformation, the enduring peace and fulfillment, comes from understanding the promise itself, the unwavering divine commitment that stands even when our personal circumstances seem to shift. Moses' vision on Nebo was an activation of what I call the legacy mindset. He saw not just a place, but a future that transcended his individual journey. He saw the flourishing of a nation, the fulfillment of an ancient covenant, the unfolding of generations, and his integral part in laying the foundation for all of it. He saw that his purpose was not diminished, but completed, in that very act of seeing and trusting. The vision wasn't just, there it is, it was, this is what your life's work has built, and it will come to pass, carried forward by the ones you have guided. This is a powerful pattern interrupt for our own lives, isn't it? How often do we get stuck in the ego's desire for personal glory, for being the one to cross the finish line and receive all the accolades? We become so fixated on the how and the when of our own entry that we miss the profound beauty and power of the divine orchestration, the seamless continuation of purpose that often extends far beyond our individual timelines. Moses' vision was a profound lesson in releasing control and embracing ultimate trust. He trusted that the promise would be fulfilled, even if it wasn't through his own physical footsteps across the final border. He trusted the wisdom of the Creator. And that trust, that ultimate surrender, is where true peace, true power, and true legacy reside. Now, let's bring this home to you. Perhaps your promised land isn't a physical place, but a state of being, financial freedom, vibrant health, a loving relationship, a deeply fulfilling career, or profound spiritual peace. You can see it, can't you? You visualize it, you pray for it, you work towards it. But maybe, like Moses, you've hit a barrier. You've been leading yourself, striving, overcoming, for what feels like a very long time, and you're still not in it. The vision of Nebo tells us that your path, your journey, your contribution, is not in vain. It tells us that your purpose is bigger than your immediate gratification. It tells us that the vision itself is the power, not just the entry. Think of it like this: your life is a magnificent story, a grand epic being written by a divine hand, and you are the hero. Sometimes, the hero's greatest triumph isn't just in achieving the final goal, but in the profound understanding, the deep wisdom, and the unwavering faith gained along the way. Moses' vision was not a denial of his accomplishment, it was a crowning affirmation of his purpose, a moment where he saw his entire life laid out as a sacred offering, a foundational stone for something much, much bigger. And here's a micro-reward for you right now: the moment you shift your perspective from, I must get there myself, to, my journey is part of a grander, divinely orchestrated plan, and my purpose is being fulfilled in ways I cannot yet fully grasp, you release an enormous burden. You open yourself up to a flow of grace and ease that was previously blocked by your striving. You start to see that even the detours, the delays, the perceived endings, are all integral parts of a perfect, unfolding narrative. This is not about passive acceptance, it's about active trust, a deep-seated belief in the goodness and wisdom of the Creator who authored your story. So, how do we cultivate this Nebo vision in our own lives? How do we access this profound understanding that changes everything? It begins with a willingness to look beyond the immediate, beyond the visible, and to connect with the eternal. It's about developing spiritual eyes that can see the threads of purpose woven into every experience, even the painful ones. First, cultivate radical trust. This is perhaps the hardest, yet most liberating step. Trust that every experience, every challenge, every unexpected turn, is serving a higher purpose in your life. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or denying reality, but rather seeing these moments as part of a larger, intelligent design. When Moses stood on Nebo, there was no anger, no bitterness, no questioning of God's justice. There was, implicitly, a profound act of trust. He trusted that the one who had led him this far would continue to lead his people, and that his contribution was complete, perfect, and necessary. Ask yourself, where in my life am I holding on to control so tightly that I'm blocking the divine flow? Where am I resisting a path that might look different from what I envisioned, but could be leading to something even greater? Release the need to micromanage your destiny. Trust the grand author. This is a journey of releasing and receiving. Second, embrace the concept of legacy, even in your daily life. Your legacy isn't just about what you leave behind when you're gone. It's about the impact you make right now, the seeds you plant, the wisdom you share, the love you give, the integrity with which you live. Moses saw the future of a nation, but he had spent 40 years teaching, guiding, loving, and disciplining. His legacy was built in those daily interactions, those countless moments of faithful service. Your promised land might be reached not just by your efforts, but by the seeds you plant in others, the inspiration you provide, the example you set. Your success might be a catalyst for someone else's breakthrough. The vision on Nebo teaches us that our individual journeys are always interconnected with something larger, a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate sight. What seeds are you planting today that will blossom in the future, even if you are not the one to harvest every single fruit? This perspective shifts you from a mindset of scarcity and competition to one of abundance and collaboration, seeing your success as part of a collective unfolding. Third, practice spiritual sight. This is where meditation, prayer, and quiet reflection become absolutely essential. Moses was not on a noisy, crowded street. He was on a mountaintop, alone with his thoughts, alone with the divine. In that stillness, he was able to receive the profound clarity of his vision. In your own life, carve out sacred time and space to silence the noise and truly see. What is the universe trying to show you? What is your intuition, your inner wisdom, your divine connection, whispering to you about your purpose, about the next steps, about the grander design? Sometimes, the promised land isn't revealed through a map, but through a feeling, a subtle knowing, a profound peace that settles over you when you align with your true path. This isn't about conjuring an image, it's about being receptive to the images and insights that are already trying to emerge from within you, from the divine source that connects us all. Let me tell you about Sarah, a woman who came to me feeling utterly broken and defeated. Her promised land was to be a mother. She had gone through years of fertility treatments, heartbreaking losses, and countless disappointments. She could see other women effortlessly having children, her friends entering that blessed land, and she felt like Moses on Nebo, seeing the promise but being forbidden entry. She was consumed by bitterness and a sense of profound injustice. Her self-esteem was at an all-time low. She felt like a failure as a woman, as a human being. We started working on shifting her vision. We moved her focus from her ability to conceive to her profound capacity to nurture and love. We explored what her true legacy could be, beyond biological motherhood. It was incredibly difficult for her at first, a raw wound. But as she began to trust, as she began to see her life through the lens of a larger divine purpose, something incredible started to happen. She started volunteering at a children's hospital, reading stories to terminally ill children. She started mentoring young girls who had no female role models. She poured her boundless capacity for love into these avenues. One day, she told me, "I finally understand. My promised land isn't just about having a child. It's about being a source of unconditional love and nurturing in the world. And in that, I am already living my purpose." She found a deep peace she had never known. And here's the beautiful part: a few years later, through a completely unexpected turn of events, she was introduced to a young teenage mother who needed to place her baby for adoption. Sarah adopted that child, a beautiful, healthy girl. But the profound truth is, she had already entered her promised land of purpose and fulfillment long before that child arrived. The vision on Nebo, for her, was the transformation of her inner landscape, the realization that her worth and her purpose were not contingent on a single outcome, but on the profound essence of who she was created to be. Her self-esteem soared, not because she got what she wanted, but because she discovered a deeper, more profound truth about herself. This is the power of the Nebo vision. It's not about what you get, but about who you become. It's about understanding that your life is a sacred unfolding, and every step, every delay, is part of a perfect plan that is ultimately leading you to your highest good, and to an even greater expression of your divine self. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from and if this message is resonating with your heart. It truly helps me understand our family here and create even more transformative content. Your input fuels this journey, and I cherish every single one of you. Now, let's talk about the patterns we fall into. We often look for linear progression. I do A, then B, then C, and then I get to the promised land. But life, and the divine plan, is rarely linear. It's more like a spiral, or a beautiful, intricate tapestry. Moses led for 40 years, and the final step was seeing from a mountaintop. It wasn't about the crossing, but about the beholding. The final act of his personal leadership was a moment of profound spiritual discernment and ultimate trust. This is a powerful pattern interrupt for anyone feeling stuck on a particular step, wondering if they're doing it wrong because the path isn't straightforward. There are times when your greatest act of faith isn't to push harder, but to simply see, to simply trust, and to allow the next chapter to unfold through divine grace. This doesn't mean becoming passive, but becoming receptive. It means understanding that your power isn't just in what you do, but in who you are and the energy you cultivate. Let's look at another profound aspect of Moses' vision. When he saw the promised land, he saw it through the eyes of the Creator, not just his own. He saw it from a perspective of divine completeness. This means understanding that even in moments of perceived ending, there is always a new beginning, a continuation, a legacy that extends beyond us. His work was done, perfectly, for that season. A new leader, Joshua, would take the reins, built upon the foundation Moses had meticulously laid. This is a powerful lesson for us. Sometimes, our greatest act of service, our greatest contribution to our own promised land, is to know when to gracefully transition, when to pass the torch, when to step back and allow new energy, new leadership, new expressions to emerge. This is not about failure, it is about the wisdom of knowing your season, and trusting in the eternal flow of life. Your best is yet to come, my friend, but it might not look exactly like what you envisioned. It might be even better, even more expansive, even more aligned with your soul's true purpose. Think of it like this: a master architect designs an incredible cathedral. They lay the foundations, draw the blueprints, oversee the initial construction. But they might not be the one to place the final stained glass window or conduct the first service. Their vision, however, underpins everything. Their purpose is profoundly fulfilled in the magnificent structure that stands. Moses was the ultimate architect of a nation's spiritual foundation. His vision from Nebo affirmed the completion of his architectural masterpiece, even if others would add the finishing touches. So, how do you apply this to your own life? Where are you being called to be the architect, to lay the foundation, knowing that the ultimate completion might unfold in ways you can't fully predict? This releases the pressure of needing to control every outcome and instead allows you to focus on the integrity and strength of the foundation you are building right now. Your inner peace, your sense of purpose, your joy, should not be contingent on the final outcome, but on the faithfulness of your journey. Many of you listening right now are probably experiencing a wilderness season. You've been walking, striving, learning, growing, but the promised land still feels distant. You might be feeling exhausted, questioning your faith, wondering if you're even on the right path. This is exactly where the Nebo vision becomes crucial. It reminds you that your journey has purpose. Every step, every lesson, every tear, is building the very foundation for what is to come. You are not lost, you are being prepared. You are not forgotten, you are being refined. Remember this: your potential is much greater than you can possibly imagine. You were created for something extraordinary. Your story does not end here, in this moment of perceived challenge or limitation. The best of you, the highest expression of your divine self, is still ahead, waiting to unfold. And you have everything you need, every gift, every strength, every divine spark, already within you to navigate whatever comes next. This is not just empty platitudes, this is a profound spiritual truth woven into the fabric of your very being. Let's anchor this with another story. A brilliant artist, Maria, had dedicated her life to painting. Her promised land was a solo exhibition in a prestigious gallery, a critical recognition of her unique vision. She worked tirelessly for decades, honing her craft, pouring her soul onto canvas. But year after year, the rejections piled up. She felt the heavy weight of disappointment, the sting of unfulfilled ambition. She saw other artists, perhaps less talented in her eyes, achieving what she yearned for. She was Moses on Nebo, seeing the beautiful, vibrant landscape of her dream, but constantly being told, not yet. One day, completely disheartened, she decided to stop pursuing the gallery dream. Instead, she started a small community art studio, teaching children and adults who had never picked up a paintbrush before. Her focus shifted from personal recognition to sharing the joy of creation. She created a space where people felt safe to express themselves, where they discovered their own inner artists. And as she did this, something shifted within her. She found a profound joy she had never experienced in her own solo pursuit. Her art became even richer, infused with the collective energy of creation she was fostering. And then, years later, a curator from a prestigious gallery, visiting her community studio on a whim, saw her paintings. Not just her old work, but the new art, imbued with a deep, soulful wisdom and joy. She offered Maria a solo exhibition, not for the art Maria had created in her striving, but for the art that had emerged from her surrendered heart. Maria realized then that her promised land wasn't just about an exhibition, it was about living her art, sharing her gift, and inspiring others. The exhibition was a beautiful outcome, but her true fulfillment, her transformation, had already happened when she shifted her vision from self-gain to shared purpose. She entered her promised land, not by forcing the door, but by embodying the vision. This is what I mean by the vision Moses saw. It wasn't about a boundary, it was about the boundlessness of purpose. It wasn't about an ending, it was about the eternal continuation of divine work. And this is your invitation, my friend, to see your own life through that same lens. Where are you being called to expand your vision? Where can you trust more deeply, surrender more fully, and allow the divine plan to unfold in its perfect timing and in its perfect way? This understanding is a powerful activator of serotonin, the feel-good hormone, because it elevates your sense of status. You are not just a struggling individual, you are a co-creator, a vital thread in a magnificent tapestry, chosen and placed precisely where you need to be. It activates oxytocin, the bonding hormone, as you realize you are part of a larger family, a shared journey, not alone in your striving. And it releases dopamine, giving you micro-rewards of insight and understanding that propel you forward with renewed hope. So, as we bring our journey on Mount Nebo to a close for today, I want you to carry this vision with you. You are seen. Your efforts are known. Your purpose is secure. Your promised land, whatever it may be for you, is real, and it is waiting. But the most profound transformation will happen not just when you step into it, but when you embrace the vision of it, when you understand its true meaning, and when you trust the divine hand guiding your every step. Let go of the fear that you might be denied, that you might not be enough, that your efforts are in vain. Let go of the need to control every single outcome. Instead, embrace the majestic unfolding of your life, knowing that every single experience is preparing you, shaping you, and drawing you closer to the magnificent destiny that awaits. Your true power lies in your unwavering faith, your surrendered heart, and your expanded vision. Now, let's seal this truth in our hearts with a powerful prayer. Pai Celestial, Font de toda sabedoria y amor, we come before you now, with humble and expectant hearts, standing metaphorically on our own Mount Nebo. We thank you for the profound vision you gave to Moses, a vision that transcends human understanding of achievement and embraces the grandeur of your eternal plan. We thank you for showing us that true fulfillment lies not just in crossing the border, but in understanding the promise, in trusting your divine orchestration. Lord, we ask you now to open our spiritual eyes, just as you opened Moses' eyes. Help us to see our own promised lands not just with our physical sight, but with the expansive vision of your Spirit. Heal any disappointment, any bitterness, any sense of unfulfilled longing that may reside within us. Replace it with radical trust, with unwavering faith, and with a profound peace that surpasses all understanding. We pray for the courage to surrender our personal timelines and agendas, to release the need to control every outcome, and to wholeheartedly embrace your perfect timing and your perfect path for our lives. Show us how our individual journeys contribute to a larger, more beautiful tapestry that only you can see in its entirety. Help us to embrace our legacy, to sow seeds of love, purpose, and integrity in every interaction, knowing that our impact extends far beyond our immediate sight. Bless us, O God, with the gift of spiritual discernment, so that in the stillness, in our moments of reflection, we may hear your whispers, see your signs, and align ourselves fully with your divine will. Reassure us that our potential is limitless, that we were created for extraordinary things, and that our story is constantly unfolding into greater glory. Let us feel your protective hand upon us, guiding us, strengthening us, and carrying us forward. May our hearts be filled with hope, our minds with clarity, and our souls with an undeniable sense of purpose. We declare that our promised lands are real, they are waiting, and we are being divinely prepared to step into them, in your perfect way and your perfect time. We receive this vision, this hope, and this transformation, in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. My dear family, if this message has touched your heart, if it has resonated with your deepest longings, I invite you to become a part of our growing family here. Hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell, so you never miss another message of hope and transformation. Together, we are building a community of empowered, visionary souls ready to step into their divine destiny. And if you're ready to dive even deeper into understanding your purpose and unlocking your potential, I highly recommend watching this next video right here on your screen. It's a powerful continuation of today's message and will give you even more tools to apply this vision to your life. Share your biggest takeaway from today's conversation in the comments below. What did Moses' vision on Mount Nebo illuminate for you today? Your insights not only strengthen our community but also inspire countless others. Remember, you are loved, you are valued, and your promised land awaits. Keep believing, keep trusting, and keep expanding your vision. Until next time, stay blessed, stay focused, and walk in your divine power.